Right, so for the cake, you're going to need 2 cups of plain flour. So I'm going to be sieving everything out. That's 1 cup. And 2 cup. You're going to need a teaspoon of baking powder. Let's see where a teaspoon is. So, baking powder, teaspoon. A teaspoon of soda, baking soda. Gonna need 1 teaspoon and 1/4 of salt and 1/4, 1/4 I meant. Where is it? Two teaspoons of cinnamon. You could use 1 or 2 teaspoons, it depends how strong you want the taste. I'm going to use actually 1.5 of just cinnamon, and like 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. And I'm just going to sieve everything into the bowl. This is actually the second time I'm making this carrot cake. I made it once ages ago. I know not everybody likes carrot cake, mainly because it's made out of carrot. Not that it tastes of carrot that much, and that it's got nuts in. Normally you can add nuts to this mixture here and have it, but I'd like to keep my nuts with the cream at the side and not make it in, not add it to the cake. There we are. Now I'm just going to leave that aside whilst I make the wet mixture. So put that aside, get another bowl, and then to that I'm going to add 3 room temperature eggs. That's one with a piece of shell in it. Second egg and third egg. To that I'm gonna add 1 cup of brown sugar, and another 1/4 cup of white sugar. There. And I'm just going to mix them together. I'm actually going to use my hand whisk for this. So I've got my whisk here. I'm just going to whisk everything together. Add about 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then gradually I'm going to add the flour mixture to this. I forgot to add the oil, guys. Gonna need, I've got here vegetable oil. You're gonna need a cupful. It seems a lot, but it's what makes the cake moist. So add the whole lot in. Mix it. Right, I'm just going to leave that aside now. Don't need that anymore. And I'm going to start grating the carrots, which I guess I should have done before. So I'll put that aside. I've got here 2 carrots, they're quite fairly big ones. I've just peeled them. And now I'm just going to use a grater and grate both carrots. If they're small, then use 3. Right, I'll just pause this because it's going to take a long time. Right, finally I've grated my carrots and my arms are aching. Now if you want to, you can shred them, grate them smaller pieces than that, but my grater, that's as fine as it did. So add that to your mixture. There. And then fold everything together. I've already got my oven preheated to 180 degrees Celsius. That is gas Mac 3, and is it 350 degrees Fahrenheit? So have that preheated, and then I'm just going to transfer this mixture into a oven proof dish. There we go. I've already lined my tin with parchment paper, and I'm going to grease it again. There we go. And then pour the whole mixture into the dish. Damn, I wanted to do it in 2 dishes. Make 2 cakes out of this and then put cream in the middle. Oh well, I guess I have to make it in 1 and then cut it in half and then put cream in between both cakes. No worries. So there we are. And then I'm going to put it in the oven for about 35 minutes, but I'll probably just open the door and just check on it after 30 minutes. So I'll see you guys after 30 minutes. So this is my cake. It actually took me just over 35 minutes to bake. So like I said, I wanted to make 2 cakes so I can put cream inside, but I'm gonna have to cut it in the middle to make 2 cakes here. So let me put it in that chopping board like that. I'm just going to cut the top bit off just to make it neat, like that. It smells absolutely gorgeous. Make it level, and I'm just going to let it cool down completely before I put my cream frosting on. Not that I've made it, but so what I've done here is I cut it in the middle to make it 2 slices of cake there. I'm just going to let it cool down completely before putting the cream on. So for my cheese cream frosting, I'm going to be using butter, cream cheese and some icing sugar, as well as a bit of vanilla to flavor the cheese frosting. So I'm going to weigh out 1 cup of butter, room temperature, so it's quite soft. So as you can see, it's quite soft but not melted. that's like nearly a block then, isn't it? So there you go. A cup of butter. Now you're going to need to blend this butter until it goes soft and double in quantity and a bit pale in colour. So it might take a bit, like 5 minutes. Let's see how it goes. If I turn that on. Right, it's been 5 minutes I've been whisking this, and it's gone light and thick. So now I'm going to add a cup of my cheese. So I'll measure again a cup of cheese. So again, it's like the whole tub. So I'll just add that in. Whisk that again. Right, and to that I'm going to add my icing sugar. I've got here 1 cup and then another 3/4 cup. So I'm just going to add a bit at a time and whisk that together. Add like a teaspoon of vanilla. Let's scrape the sides. There we are. Right, put that aside, and I'm going to get my cake now ready to layer. So I'm just going to put 1 layer on first, like that, and then spread the cheese frosting on top. That should be enough. And then put the other layer on top. There you go. Now put another layer of this cheese on top. Cream, I meant. Probably would have preferred my cream frosting a bit more thick, but it's okay. I'm just gonna get a knife. It's probably easier to spread like that. Now I'm gonna level the sides with a knife. Things might get a bit messy now. I just want the sides to be equal. Cover the sides. Now it doesn't have to be neat because you're going to cover it with nuts anyways. So cover the whole sides like this. So this is my cake at the moment. So it's not the neatest one, but like I said, I'm just going to cover it with nuts. So get any nuts you prefer. This one I've got is got mixed with everything. You could have walnuts, almonds, anything basically. So this one's already chopped up for me. So I'm just gonna cut this out. So like I said, this might be a bit messy. I don't know any easier way of doing this. So I'm just gonna get some in my hand like that and just make it stick to the side. I'm going to leave the top bit empty because as far as I know, not many kids like nuts. So like I said, you can neaten that up afterwards. So there you are, guys. My carrot cake. Probably not the neatest one, but it's going to taste awesome.